Welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us make an attempt to talk about at least three topics each week. Now, for those of you who have found us for the first time, welcome.
Hey,
We are so glad you're here. And
Yay!
for those of you who have returned, y'all the real MVP, and we appreciate you.
We do.
show.
Thanks for returning.
Thank you very much. Now, the sultry voice that you have heard and you are about to hear again is our point person and optimistic realist. We like to call her Star.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Sounds like a
The
poem
world's
about
high.
self-reflection.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Smart fart.
so the dulcet baritone that you've already heard and will soon hear again is our man in the middle, our voice of reason. We like to call him Magic.
I'm tired of inclusion. Write some better fucking scripts.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something to be said about that. So, yes, I agree.
Yeah, y'all clearly forcing it.
Sometimes. And bringing up the rear, as always, I like to refer to myself as the optimistic. What am I? I don't even know.
You are the pragmatic
Confused.
contrarian.
Thank you. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Something happened on the game. Okay, let me try this again.
Squirrel brain.
Squirrel brain for real. Bringing up the rear as always. I like to identify as the pragmatic contrarian of our group, and they call me Storm.
Jeez. You were right on time. Yay!
That was a struggle, I tell you.
But wait, it gets worse.
Don't blame me, it was Jimmy Butler.
What
Anyway.
does Jimmy Butler have to do with it?
Everything. Everything. It's always either Jimmy Butler or Tyler Hero. And that is usually, every now and then, it's Victor Oladipo.
I just cooked him in 2K.
Bam, out of bio, one of them. Anyway, they're on my TV and they're distracting me.
Donner, dancer,
Cut
prancer,
the TV
vixen.
off.
How dare you?
Novel idea.
Anyway. Okay, do we have any church announcements?
I think Logic is a really good, albeit annoying rapper, but I am now convinced that he has no black family or friends.
Oh.
Why are you convinced of this, might I ask?
Because he remade Today Was a Good Day, and if you haven't heard it, then good for you.
Why would he remake that particular tune?
It gets worse. I'm not suggesting you listen to it because I didn't want to either. I just happened to stumble across somebody else playing it.
Okay.
Yeah, no black family or friends would have let him do that.
Yep, I think I'll pass.
As will I. As will I. Any other church announcements? Nobody?
I'd like to thank Sean Kemp for taking some of the heat off Ja Morant.
I was getting into that in Champs and Chumps. So
Go for it.
so I actually don't have any champs this week, but I do have two chumps. And before we get into Sean Kemp, we will start with There was a lady who loved Popeye's biscuits so much that she decided that she was going to run in to the Popeyes because they didn't put her biscuits in her order.
Mm, mm, mm,
Like run into with a car.
Yes, with an actual car. Now, luckily, nobody was hurt.
mm, mm,
Uh,
mm.
yeah, luckily she slammed her SUV into the and if you looked at her mugshot, which I'm looking at, she looks like the type that would slam her SUV into a Popeyes because her order didn't have any biscuits. Anyway, this is Belinda Miller from Richmond County, Georgia, because it just reeks of Georgia, doesn't it?
Yeah, seeing as how that's a damn scene from Tyler Perry, but go ahead. The fuck?
Okay, so there were injuries, but nobody died. She drove her Toyota RAV4
Mm, mm,
That
mm,
explains it.
into one of the entrances of the building after she became upset that her order didn't have any biscuits.
mm, mm,
One of the restaurant's employees was almost hit by the SUV.
mm, mm, mm.
Um, a witness told
Got
deputies
his
he was
ass
in
to
the
put
parking
biscuits
lot.
in the next one.
A witness told deputies he was in the parking lot and saw Miller slam the SUV into the side of the restaurant, then saw her drive off. Now, here's my question. Once you do that, you have fully committed to going to jail. Why did
Mhm.
you drive off? Like
Mind you, you're in a Rav
nobody saw
4. How did
you?
that shit not fold up like a stepped on Coke can?
Mm,
Mm,
that's a good question.
mm, mm, mm.
The manager told deputies that prior to the incident, Miller had made threats to her staff, then drove away. A few minutes later, Miller called the Popeyes and said she was already on papers and would drive her vehicle into the building. The manager stated that before any of this happened, she had corrected the mistake and gave Miller her biscuit, but states she was still not happy, obviously.
Mm, mm, mm.
Deputies found Miller's SUV at her home with front end damage. You think?
All of it's
Anyway, she
worth
was
it long as they got rid of that honey child lady in the commercials.
arrested for aggravated assault and criminal damage to property. Um, yeah. First of all, let me say this: Popeye's biscuits are not what they used to be. So don't nobody drive into a building over them, please.
And I was gonna say they was never that fucking good in the first place to drive into a damn building.
Well, no, but they used to be damn good back in the day, but they're just not as good as they used to be.
Mm,
I hate to
mm.
be all Uncle Ruckus, but niggas was just whooping each other's asses over fried chicken sandwiches, what, 2 years ago?
Well, they
What
shouldn't
the
do
fuck
that
Mhm.
either.
happening at Popeyes?
Mm,
I
mm,
know. What are they actually putting in the chicken?
mhm.
Listen, it's a good sandwich, but I wouldn't wait in line no longer than 5 minutes, much less fight some damn body.
Over a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Get sex,
And
people. Miserable
You said what?
motherfuckers.
well, I mean,
Dick in your life. That's what you need.
Um,
well, I don't know because all things being equal, sometimes I'd rather have the chicken. But anyway,
never. But anyway,
maybe I just am unlucky. I don't know. Anyway,
never.
uh, all right. So my second chump, former NBA All Star, Dream Team 2 member, former occupant of a spot on my adoration list, Sean Kemp, was recently arrested for a drive-by shooting, y'all.
What?
That is an exaggeration.
At a Tacoma Mall in Washington. I just six-time NBA All-Star, a six-time NBA All-Star, Dream Team member, one of the ones that did not go to well, that's not true. He didn't play basketball in college. he
Another
jumped
fun story.
another fun story, and that actually was probably a foreshadow to this. And I should have known then to hold my infection, but the man, but the Rain Man, at the time was worthy of my adoration. And for you youngsters, that's REIGN Rain, not RAIN Rain, because he ruled the paint. But never mind. So the shooting occurred after an altercation, police said. Mr. Kemp, 53.
Too damn old for this shit.
Too damn old for this bullshit. Was detained at the mall shortly after. He remains in Pierce County Jail. Responding officers determined an altercation had occurred between two parties in vehicles. One of the drivers fired off several rounds at the occupants of the other vehicle. Officers found a firearm at the scene and no injuries were reported.
Did you see the video?
No, I refuse.
I don't know what
I
led up
cannot.
to it, but in the video, you see Sean Kemp standing there. One, he's wearing a big ass red vest, like you're 6'10" in a red vest. Who's going to
Right.
not notice you?
Right.
He's in the parking lot. He's not actually in the mall. He lets off one shot. He gets in a Porsche. I think they're called Panameras, which is enough. I'm 6'5" and I don't think I could fit in that car. But all right. He gets in the car. He drives like up the street a little bit, throws the gun in the bushes, and drives back to the scene and starts talking to the cops to explain what happened. Nigga, you are 6'10". You are black as hell in
6'10",
Washington.
black as night in Seattle.
Relatively fucking famous.
Very famous.
Shot in a mini
Very
mall parking
famous
lot like cameras aren't
in the city of Seattle.
fucking where. And you throw the gun in the bushes on camera? My God. Jesus
I
Christ.
mean,
What is wrong with the adults?
Was he drunk,
doing?
high? What was his issue?
probably high
He was known for
because
drinking a lot back in the days.
he was, but he
Weed is
also
illegal in
opened
Washington.
a weed store in downtown
Yeah, he has
Seattle
a
in
cannabis
2020. So
strain.
you know,
Just correction, dispensary.
well,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I
I don't know, a store where you go and buy it legally in Seattle. So, yeah.
In a red vest.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. I mean, the man played in the NBA Finals. You think nobody in Seattle remembers that? They don't even have a team in Seattle anymore. You think they don't remember that you were the one in the NBA Finals? We won't talk about what happened there, but you went.
Technically, it's Tacoma, but same difference.
Whatever.
Because I don't
But
live there. I'm sure
the
people
jersey
there
said,
care.
but the jersey said Seattle is what I'm saying. So,
No, I meant where he was at the mini mall was in Tacoma.
oh, at the mall. Yeah. Okay.
They made it sound like he was letting off shots in the middle of the mall like Tony Montana. It was
no. It was in the parking lot. Altercation apparently occurred in the parking lot, according to
Yes, and
the
it was not a
police.
drive-by. He shot and then got in his car and came back.
Oh, oh, so it
Wow.
wasn't okay. So it wasn't an actual drive-by. I don't know why that makes me feel slightly better.
Like, what was his point though?
I mean, it's still stupid, but at least, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
can't.
can.
I've never been able to comprehend that letting off shots after the fact. Like, I'm busting my gun just to prove I will. Like, no.
Okay, and we're about to talk about that because we're about to talk about Ja as well. Anyway, that's it for my champs and chumps.
John Morant need a hug so bad.
Okay, now I actually have several. There were several stories about athletes trying to be gangsters or getting caught up in foolishness this week. Um, I'm not gonna dive into the dude that used to play for Alabama that just got indicted on a murder charge. We won't talk about
Oh, yeah. Who slipped his man's the gun.
No, that's a whole different. No, that's the current Alabama basketball player. I'm talking about the former Alabama football player that was indicted on murder. No, the
Hmm.
current Alabama basketball player has not been indicted for anything as yet.
Hey, it's great to be talented. Ain't that right,
You would
Miles
think.
Bridges?
Um, so, well, yeah, and then there's Miles Bridges. Fuck them either. There's a couple of my Spartans that have gone astray, but we won't talk about any of those. But no, I was talking about Darius Miles,
Um,
and I guess no, he wasn't a football player. He played basketball, didn't he?
say
Anyway,
Darius is wilding? I like that
yeah.
podcast.
He just got indicted on capital murder charges. You didn't hear about
I
that?
didn't know that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yep.
This is why you don't
So
give 18-year-olds tons of money.
okay. The thing about Ja, I'm gonna need Ray Lewis to talk to him. He needs to
Nah,
seriously
I'm gonna
go.
need Zebo to talk to him.
I'm gonna need Ray Lewis because he needs to go to the Ray Lewis School of Plausible Deniability.
You can't have
Because
any deniability when you are filming yourself in the club with a gun in your hand.
listen. That's why he needs to go to the Ray Lewis School of Plausible Deniability. Because when they caught Ray Lewis up in that mess, Ray Lewis was like, "That was my man's in them. I was around the corner when all that happened."
Ray Lewis
I,
wasn't holding
I'm
a phone filming himself.
well. That's because Ray Lewis is old as fuck. Yeah, trust me. Somebody would have
Listen,
been
I'm
filming
glad
it.
none of this shit existed when I was young and stupid.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Trust me. If cell phones with cameras were a big thing back then, Ray Lewis probably would have been caught up too. But
Yep.
Ja, if you're listening to this, what is the point of paying for your boys to live if they can't take one for the team? Why are you even carrying a gun? You don't need to even be strapped. That's what your
Did you
boys is
see that
around you
video?
for. Huh?
Did you see that video?
No. I did. Oh, the video of him.
Oh, that a gun was a lot. That was a 22 at best. Like,
Well,
why are you
yes.
showing this off?
Yes. Well, I agree. But why does he even have one? That's my point. Like, you don't need one. That is why you pay for them old shiftless boys that don't do nothing to live and hang out with you. That is the whole reason why they are there. If they can't be there to flash their piece on command, why are you paying for
No,
them?
no, 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 no. Them niggas are bringing you down. I'm with Charlemagne. If you want to have somebody with you carrying a gun, hire white people with legal gun licenses.
But listen, them dudes can get legal. Well, I don't know if they've got any charges or what, but I mean, there is zero reason for you to be carrying a gun. Okay. Also, men in general, because it ain't just black men, white men too. I don't understand y'all feeling like carrying a gun makes y'all more manly. I
Oh,
assure you it does
yo.
not.
I promise you, anybody that will shoot you, you're not going to see their gun until it's too late.
Thank you.
Yep.
Also, y'all need to understand, y'all ain't the only ones who can get a gun in this country. So you swinging this gun
Baby.
around like, look at me, I'm so tough because I got a gun. You don't know who else
In a
got one.
strip club. Who's fighting in a strip club?
Like, well, I'm more concerned. I'm more talking about the guy that he threatened at the mall because his mama and mama don't call him behind some bullshit. Like, why are you calling him?
That too, but I question his parents on the regular.
Well, sure. And don't even get me started on the Deion Sanders model of respectability or whatever. You heard what that idiot said.
No, but it's
He,
Deion Sanders. He'll say any damn thing for attention.
he said when he's looking for a quarterback, he's not looking for a quarterback from a
Oh,
single parent
yeah, I saw that.
household. He wants the ones with two parents because
Yeah,
apparently
but when
he
he's looking
believes
for
if you
like a
got
defensive lineman,
right, then he
that
wants the
nigga
single
had
parent.
problems.
As if people with single parents don't cut up on the regular. Hell, what's that white man that just went to prison? That was the
Not
attorney
enough.
uh, in South Carolina.
Shit, I don't know. I try to avoid that
Anyway,
state.
okay, well, as do I, but I mean that whole story's been
Coincidentally, where Jai's from.
Murdoch. Murdoch, that's his name. Alex Murdoch. Yeah, yeah. He had two parents in his house. So did his children. Both of his children probably killed somebody. But that's a
Oh,
whole
yeah, I
nother.
did hear about that one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
the
whole
whole
nother.
family full of lawyers.
A whole family full of lawyers. Well, I was gonna say and murderers, but that's not true. Because his brother's also an
It's
attorney,
debatable.
and there's no evidence that his brother's ever killed anyone. Although I wouldn't put it past anyone. But anyway,
No
my point
evidence
is,
Bill and Hillary have ever killed anyone, but there's a lot of people missing behind, pissing them off.
all I'm saying is, y'all better quit judging people on superficial bullshit, like the fact that they ain't showing you their gun, so you assume they ain't got one. That's only gonna work out for you for so long, and then it's gonna go horribly wrong.
Yep. Gilbert Arenas did the first half of his
Yeah,
last podcast was about it, and he was the perfect person to speak on it.
he was. I didn't hear the podcast. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. But yeah, um,
He
yeah.
gave him the best advice I've heard any of the people say to him so far.
What was his advice? Because as I recall, Gilbert pulled out his piece on somebody who was bad it.
Nah, they was arguing over some gambling shit, and he was saving Javaris Crittensen's corny ass. But either way, in the end, he was like, "Look, you gonna take this L. You're a top tier player right now. The NBA is gonna try to knock you down a couple tiers. It don't matter how good you play for the next 2-3 years. You're gonna be blacklisted or whatever. Just ball your ass off. Eventually, you're gonna have to cut your hair, get your shit together."
Well, I don't
It's
even
like
think he needs to cut
maybe
his hair. Just
45
stop
minutes
doing dumb
long.
shit.
No, for image purposes. To me, I
I
could
don't think
chalk
he
it up
needs to
as,
cut his
okay,
hair.
dude, you young and stupid. You didn't actually commit a crime yet, but All of that
Well,
trying to
no.
prove you hood to
He
a bunch of
he may.
motherfuckers that should have stayed their ass in the hood. Nah, it don't
I
work.
mean, he may have assaulted someone, but I mean, at
I
least he didn't
mean,
shoot.
it's basketball. You get into fights on the court. Shit happens. But you
Yeah,
can't be out here threatening
but
fucking
you as
people
a
when you making 20 some mil a year.
grown man can't be beating on a 17-year-old. You can't do it.
Yeah, you have to know better, but
You have to know better.
we've all been on the court and shit went a little bit too far.
Yeah, but I mean, that's that 17-year-old. Stop.
You're in the
I mean,
NBA. Why the fuck are
and
you
you're in the
playing a 17-year-old
NBA.
at your
Exactly.
house?
Exactly. And you're in the NBA. Like, why? And why do you care what the 17-year-old at your house has to say? You don't like what he has to say? Guess what you get to do? Put his ass out. Get to stepping. Because that's what grown men do. But, anyway,
Let's see, 23, 24.
I
We'll
don't even
figure
know
it
how
out.
old Jai is. I think he's 23. I think he's 20. I think he's 23. I mean, he's still extremely young. And, I mean, he has an
Gotta have some
interesting
better
face.
people around you. One of your boys gotta be like, yo, son, reel that shit in.
Yeah.
Hey, Star.
Hey.
He's waiting for you to say something.
No, I know she checked out.
Oh,
Let's get into some other shit.
okay. Can we talk about Buffalo Wild Wings?
What the fuck happened with them?
They're being sued because apparently their wings aren't wings at all. They're more like chicken nuggets.
Aren't all
What?
boneless fucking wings not really wings?
Well, I mean, that's what I always assumed. But the person
No,
that's
it's fat.
suing them, the person that is suing them says that not only is it false advertising, but also they are charging for the more expensive wing parts when they're giving you the less expensive like chicken nugget. Which I mean, there's something to be said about that. But I mean, I don't eat boneless wings because I don't trust them.
Me either.
I
Because
like
boneless
breast meat,
wings,
so I gotta do what I gotta do.
yeah.
You like what?
Breast meat.
Oh.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that it's more like chicken nuggets, which isn't necessarily breast meat. If you've ever seen the way they
I
make
mean,
some
I've been
chicken
to
nuggets.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Those ain't nuggets. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but they're
At
also
best, a
not
tender.
wings. Yeah,
Buffalo Wild Wings is forever getting sued. They got sued a couple of years ago over the tipped wages labor standards or whatever they had going on.
yeah,
Then they got
yeah,
tipped by some African American like diners.
yeah. I remember that.
Um
I thought that was Wingstop.
mm-mm.
No, that was B Dubs.
They
Hmm.
are like they are always um um there's something about like some vegetarian group sued them not too long ago. Like
Yeah.
they can't, man.
Well, the man that is suing them over this mentioned that other restaurants that sell boneless chicken, for example, Papa John's, and we won't talk about their problems,
Mm.
but they're being very careful not to market theirs as wings. They just call it boneless chicken. And he's mad because Buffalo Wild Wings won't even mention in fine print anywhere on the menu that the meat is not from the wing. but they call them
Is
wings.
it that
So,
fucking serious?
well, I mean, what if you're? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
Some
think the
mean,
people are
bigger
all
issue
sensitive.
for me is
advertisement.
when you go to buy some wings, they ask you if you want drums or flats. Like, no, a drum and a flat put together is a wing.
Correct.
That's where y'all getting robbed
But they don't even ask you that with the boneless wings because
because it ain't a wing. And I
because
thought
it
that
ain't a
was
wing,
common
right?
sense.
Well, sure, but then they can't. But it is common sense. But they can't advertise them as wings because technically, by the letter of the law, that is false advertising.
Mm,
What's
I
next?
think
Y'all gonna go
I.
to McDonald's and get mad because Ronald don't serve you a burger?
I mean, I would like that very much. I get mad. Here's my thing. Like, I think somebody should do something about vegan leather because that irritates me.
that irritates the hell out of me.
I cannot
My
stand
beef is
when.
plant based butter.
Plant based butter.
Okay,
Yeah.
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 I think vegan leather is more egregious.
Like vegans in general are just egregious, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have anything against vegans, but I mean, marketing something as leather when it's clearly not
Mm.
irritates me. Like when I hear vegan leather, I hear I want to
Pleather.
charge you leather
White chocolate.
prices for
I,
some plastic.
I hear I hear pleather. That's what I
Pleather, right. I'm going to charge you leather prices. And no and now don't get me wrong, pleathers have gotten very good. I mean the production on them has gotten very good.
hear. Mm.
But just tell me that it's not leather. Like don't try to convince me that it's leather when it's not
Hmm.
because that irks me. Anyway.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, I only have one other thing.
This is
And
the
this
U
is just
episode.
really
Go for it.
no, no, no. This is just really something that I want to mention because it's been all over the news and it's interesting. Um, you heard about those home appraiser about those that couple? I think they were in San Francisco,
Could be.
where their house was appraised for like $200,000 less than it was worth, and then they had the appraisers come and they had their white friend show the house and they took down all their pictures and stuff and then magically the house appraised for what it was worth.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
just assume that happened everywhere.
Well, yes, but that was like a big story. Like it was a big story because this was like $1 million home. And they were like, $200,000 is a whole lot to short somebody. It's one
Mhm.
thing when you're
Mhm.
Uh,
shorting somebody 20, 30,000, but 200,000 is a lot. You know, that's
Niggas
more
was
than some
shorting
people's.
somebody $2, $3.
Well, yeah, but I mean, $200,000 is what is some people's houses aren't even worth that.
It's a fight.
It's yeah. So oh, I'm sorry. It was a $500,000 difference. There we go.
Mm.
So
Even
even more,
worse.
even worse. Yeah, yeah. I mean, talk about Ja is
Letters.
yeah, But anyway, so people around the country have been taking appraisers to task ever since then, and they've been
That
letting.
appraisal is bullshit to begin with.
Well, yeah, more or less. But anyway, so I just wanted to mention that appraisers better be careful and they better be on the up and up because it's a lot of people that are getting caught up in this, losing their jobs and losing their licenses because you have to be licensed to be an appraiser. Um, yeah, so I mean, just because you want to be racist, think about whether you want to lose your livelihood over it. It doesn't mean that
Mhm.
much to you.
Right.
So
Take that,
that's all I
gentrification.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to mention. Um,
That's crazy.
it is. It is. And I really don't understand it. Like I don't really know if it happens in this area, but to me it would be really stupid for that to happen in like the Detroit metropolitan area.
Okay.
It would just be really stupid. But I don't know. Now that downtown Detroit has become so gentrified, maybe. But
Mm.
yeah. Anyway,
Why do we say
anyway.
gentrified like that's some simple shit? Manifest destiny is fucked up.
Oh no, it's not simple at all. But I
Mm.
mean, I'm
Inevitable,
surprised.
possibly, but
Well, I'm honestly surprised that Detroit didn't get gentrified a lot sooner
A
than it
long
did.
time ago.
Yeah, because it was ripe for it. It was ripe for it. So I was not surprised at
yeah.
all when it started happening.
White folks been wanting Detroit back for years.
Well, not the ones in this area. They haven't. They've been trying to get as far away from Detroit as they could.
No,
Um,
no, no. That's
Yeah, but
black.
once the
Well,
property
no.
value goes
For a
down, go
long
buy all that
time,
shit up.
for a very long time, like a long time ago, yeah, white folks were exiting the area, but for a long time, but then it became black folks started abandoning Detroit, and the white folks
well, and yeah,
wanted
right,
Detroit back a long time ago. It's just that now they're making good on it.
right, yeah. It was when black folks started to leave, and then white folks were like, "Well, why am I driving? Why am I commuting 2 hours to work if I don't have to?"
Mm.
Ding, 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 ding,
So,
ding, ding.
yeah. When I left to get away from y'all, and here y'all come, so I'll just go back.
Mm.
There
I
goes
don't
the
need you
neighborhood.
as my neighbors.
Yeah,
I don't want you to be my neighbor.
yeah. But
Hmm.
anyway, so I'm done. So, sir, you have the floor, or couch, or bed, or wherever you are.
In an
Bed,
office chair.
bed.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm highly aware that when it comes to dealing with relationships, I am perhaps unorthodox. There's no perhaps to it. I wonder what are the rules or what should be the rules when flirting while in a relationship. Awkward silence. I love it.
I,
Star.
okay, so for me, I don't necessarily see it as there should be rules. Um, I think once you're with a person for a period of time, you have a good gauge on what their temperature is, for certain things. But they
True.
also should have a good check of your temperature as well. So, for instance, I uh I dated a flirt once, right? And it's part of his nature. He can seem to be a little overly friendly to the point where other people, let's say, misread his intentions. I'll say it this way: he's one of those like a chihuahua. You know how a chihuahua just like barks until something comes along and be like, okay, look, look now. So he was one of those type of people that would playfully flirt until somebody will call him out on it. And he's flirting with somebody that he's really not interested. He's just doing it for the sake of that's just his personality. And then when that person step up and be like, "What's up?" It's like, "Oh shit, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that." You know. Um And because I kind of knew he was that dude, it really didn't bother me. I think the flirting in most situations becomes a problem because of two things. Uh there's a lack of trust somewhere in the relationship.
Word.
Um and so the flirting is just a symptom of or the issue with the flirting is a symptom of a bigger problem. Or there's an insecurity issue on the side of the person who has the issue with the flirting.
I'm in
Like, I
Raw.
don't know, it could be past relationships, whatever the case may be. But either way, I believe most of the time when people have issues with their mate, like flirting, like playfully flirting, and you know when it's playful, or even, I mean, you just know. But but I'm sorry, let me put an asterisk on that. For them to do it and you're not necessarily around is like one thing, but for them to actually openly flirt with someone else and you're in their face, that's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, that's
um
insulting.
that's insulting because it's like, damn, I'm not sitting right here, standing right here, whatever the case may be. But yeah, so that's all I got. What say you?
Yeah, I'm not a jealous person. And I mean, it depends upon the intensity with which the flirting occurs.
Yeah.
uh Before I'm bothered, but I mean, it takes a lot for me to be bothered by it, part because I think what a lot of people, and I can only speak for myself, I get accused of flirting sometimes when I'm just being nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck
And
you being nice to that
people,
nigga for.
well, right, and people see it as flirting, and I'm like, I can't, like, I'm saying hello. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
used to have a friend that used to always accuse me of flirting, and she was like, "Oh, you're always flirty," and I'm like, first of all, I don't even know how to flirt. I'm just I I'm just nice to people because that's how I was raised. And if I'm
Mm-hmm.
nice to someone with a Y chromosome, suddenly it's construed as flirting.
Flirting.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know where that line is between I'm being nice and flirting, apparently, because I get accused of it all the time. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to accuse other people of it for
Mm-hmm.
that reason. So, like I said, it would have to be very egregious flirting before I'm annoyed. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If
even
you're the type
then,
of person that's hugged up with your boo and winking at somebody else behind them, slap yourself.
well, and I was going to say, and even then, we'll have a discussion about it,
Very important.
before I'm just really going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But I do know people who, like, you can't even, you can't even, like, cut your eyes to look at somebody before they're like, what you looking at her for? Or what you looking at him for?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will tell you, I went out with this dude one time. I don't know if I've told this story before, but we were at the restaurant, um, and the server was clearly flirting with him. I mean, she was clearly batting her eyelashes in his direction. I thought
Get
it
that
was
tip,
funny.
baby girl.
I thought it was hilarious. And so I mentioned it to him, when she left, and I was laughing, and he was like, "Oh, she's not flirting. She did da da da." Da." So then, when she came and cleared our plates or whatever, she was like, "Well, do you want any dessert or whatever? Because you look like someone who likes something sweet." She said to him, and then she was like, "You know what? I'll bring you something sweet on the house." And he was like, "Oh no, no, thank you. I don't want anything." When she left, I was like, "Fool, you
Listen,
should have
don't do
listen,
your
listen. Get that pie so I can eat it." Like, what are you doing? Is she gonna give you something free and you don't take it? Like, man, what are we doing?
Funny.
Right, right.
But yeah, so that was my
That's the
flirting
thing.
story.
I think, like, if the woman I'm with, one isn't with me at the moment, and you're in Foot Locker flirting with some dude to get me the new Jordans for $30 off, enjoy yourself. Do your
Right.
thing. Do what you got to do. I think we all have work wives, work husbands, whatever. There's going to be some shit talking and probably some shit HR shouldn't hear.
Let me just say,
But
if I'm on your arm and somebody's flirting with you to get you the new Jordans for for $30 or whatever, listen,
handle your business.
don't let don't let me
Matter of
hold
fact,
you up. Okay.
I'm gonna
Matter
walk
of
out the
fact,
store like, yeah, do that, do that, do that.
listen, grab me a pair. Listen,
Yeah.
six and a half.
Motherfucker in the store know damn well you don't wear a 13 in men's. And
Listen, and okay. So a side note to any of that, my ex, it was so funny because I think my ex had a problem with that at the beginning, but then he started seeing where it was beneficial,
yeah,
and he'd be like, and then
get
he,
that free dessert shit.
right, occasionally he'd be like, "Go ahead, do your thing," like,
Well,
but
see, I don't think of you as a flirt either. Like, to me, you're very
right.
friendly to people
But people take it as
as
like,
flirting. Yeah.
yeah, they do. And whatever how you take it to get me that whatever it is that I want, I don't really care. Um
Right.
Hear that, men? We're being used.
But you go ahead and finish what you were saying, Magic.
I think it's just that, for starters, if the person you're with has a social media account of any form, they flirting. But you
Wait a
have to
minute,
take
of
that shit with a
what?
grain.
If
Any
they're on
social
social
media account,
media, they're flirting.
much less a dating app. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about
Everybody
that.
know
Ain't
you
no
don't go
flirting
through the
been going on
persons
on
you with's
mine.
phone
Whatever.
because you gonna find some shit you don't like. Hell, the woman I'm with, I ain't friends with her on no social media. I don't want to fucking know. Go
And,
enjoy your
and
life.
you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
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 She take
Yeah.
that shit personal. I'm like, you can follow me on anything. I ain't following you on shit. Because the first motherfucker that like a picture wrong, it's a problem. But
Right.
Mm.
at some point, you got to let people breathe. Like, you have to have faith in your partner that at best they're gonna flirt with somebody and fill up their own ego and then come fuck the shit out of you. Which is how it's supposed to happen. Y'all be fucking that up left and right. But
Well,
earlier
you
on,
know,
go ahead.
well, like I said before, I have my own full time job. I don't have time to be running around checking behind nobody, trying to see what they said to whom, and vice
Yeah,
versa.
I'm not a
Like,
detective.
yeah,
If you looking for
that's
shit to
not.
be mad about, you gonna find it.
I mean, shoot, if you want to
But
be mad, just
earlier
be
on
mad.
this
You ain't gotta
week,
look.
a chick that Lord knows I haven't seen in probably 20 years, she sends me this picture with under boob cleavage, which creative. I like it. It was a great picture. And I'm like, so am I supposed to take this as an invite or what? And her response is, "Don't you have a girlfriend?" Like, yeah, you knew that
Yeah,
before
you
you
knew that
said
before you
this.
sent me
Like,
the damn
what do you
picture.
Right.
expect my response to be? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I think some chicks get off on, well, and dudes probably do. Well, I know dudes do it too because I've been one of them. Kind of get off on the fact, like, yeah, I could fuck up your home life if I decided to. Like, no, you can't. The most I'm gonna do is look at you and go, "Oh, nice," and go home and fuck the person I'm with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Actually, my
Yeah.
first response was like, "Are you auditioning for girlfriend?" Well, no. Then what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Chicks hate
Yeah.
when you say they gonna be the side chick, but they be auditioning for side chick. It's fucking weird. Find love, people.
Or don't. Find love within
Yeah.
yourself. How about that?
Well, yeah. First things first. If you can't enjoy your own fucking company, you can't enjoy nobody else's.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
And nobody will
Ah,
enjoy
which
yours.
leads to the gem at the end. People at war with themselves will always cause collateral damage in the lives of those around them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I like that one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
love you some you and then get into a relationship. If your ass is miserable all the fucking time, all you're gonna do is bring misery to everybody you claim to love.
Yeah, and stop being so doom and gloom, people. Like, I mean, honestly, if if you're complaining about something, first of all, if you're complaining about something and someone gives you a suggestion, don't be like, well, what if that doesn't work? What the fuck if it does? You know,
Right?
why
Mm-hmm.
are you always so like,
Well, I've come to the
I mean, I
conclusion that
honestly,
a lot of people are more comfortable in chaos than in peace.
well, not even just chaos, but misery. And
Not
Yeah.
chaos.
and I'm just like, sometimes I have to distance myself from people because I can't deal with the misery. And I know that sounds terrible, but you know,
Sometimes. I'm cutting all you motherfuckers out.
but I mean, some of y'all, I love y'all to death, but your negativity affects me, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I
Yeah.
just can't. So
We all know misery loves company. I don't fucking work there. You can have it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
All right, that's enough of this
Anyway,
shit.
it sure
If you like the
is.
show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell all the hoes. It is the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, the Threesome Pod on Twitter. You know where you found us. Why the fuck am I telling you where you can find us? We had other spots too.
Yeah, holla at us. We'd like to hear from you. I'm going to walk the dog.
Send nudes.
Male one too. We like men. There's two women here. Don't just send women. Don't just
Right.
send your
Yo, do y'all
biddies.
get offended at dick pics?
No, they're hilarious.
Yeah, especially the ones that be talking shit and they send mediocre stuff.
Yeah, men have absolutely no concept of their own. I don't even know what
Shortcomings?
the word I'm looking for. Shortcomings. Men will send like the ugliest pictures of themselves, and they don't care. They will send like the stubbiest picture. I'm like, what is that? His thumb? Oh, that's a dick pic. My bad. And then I proceed. Yeah, no, we laugh at those. We think they're hilarious
And share them in the group chat.
and share them with our friends. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, if
For the
you send
record,
me,
I am a good human being. If you send me nudes, I do not share them with my friends.
listen. If you send me an unsolicited dick pic,
Oh, you
I
asked
have
for it.
no. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm not gonna share everybody's, but if you send me one and I ask you for it, then you must not care that it's out there. So yeah, I'm gonna show
I've
everybody.
I've only ever shared one dick pic, and that was with you actually because I was just so disappointed. I had to tell somebody. I had to tell somebody.
Y'all
I,
selfish with the good ones?
huh?
So y'all selfish with the good ones?
I mean, I've had some bad ones. And I just
It
didn't choose to
depends.
share. Yeah, I just didn't choose to share. I did share one unsolicited one because I'm like, I don't know where this dude think he's going with that, but I'm not fooling with that. But so that I've shared two. It was unsolicited and he sent it and I'm like, yeah, okay. But the one that I did share was of someone that I had been knowing for a little while. And I was just like, I was so disappointed. Like I was literally like, remember? I was like,
Yes.
and then you tried to paint a better picture.
Because you were so despondent.
I
Man,
was like, yeah, no, what
yeah,
am I?
maybe he has other gifts. Maybe he's, talented in other areas.
Man,
You never
that
know.
nigga
Yeah, you
better
gotta
be
overcompensate somewhere.
a world famous headologist with that. Like his head game ought to put a like. Remember I had the issue with the dude where that sent me to the hospital. Yeah, his head
Yes.
game ought to be like that.
Okay.
Yeah, his head game ought
Now
to be
you know
like
where
that.
you
Even though
stand, fellas.
Yeah, well, for the record, most of y'all aren't as great as y'all think y'all are. So there's always that.
I thought we discussed that on the podcast about
Oh, I'm
my
sure we did.
trip to the hospital.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Mm.
Well, you did.
Yep,
Yep, his
I
head game
recall
better
it.
be world class.
Lord. Good night, sweetheart. Well,
Anyway,
it's time to go.
I'm going to walk the dog.
Woofy woofy. Woof woof.
Walking the dog. When the fuck
All
did we
right.
switch?
I
Well,
don't
you're
know.
laughing at me, but you know I'm telling the truth.
Of course.
Laughing with you.
Yes. Not at you. Anyway, see y'all next
I will
week.
not laugh at your tit pics. I will respect them like a gentleman. And I
Oh,
will
I
No.
cheer
wouldn't
on your little
laugh at
fucked up self
nobody's
esteem.
stuff.
No.
I
Well, I'm
wouldn't laugh at
sorry.
nobody's stuff. I mean,
I'm sorry. Gravity has already made a mockery of this.
Mm. I done seen some laughable dick pics myself, pause. But yeah.
I wouldn't laugh at nobody's stuff. It's just
I
that
would.
I will.
I won't.
I
I
would.
wouldn't.
I got jokes.
I didn't laugh at his.
Smack you with my hat like Harlem Nights. Like, put that little ass shit away.
I mean, some people just aren't as, blessed as
Listen,
others.
and
That's
I
all
don't
fine
blame
and
them for
dandy, but
that.
if you know that's not your strength, why are you showing it?
And why are you trying to pretend like it is?
Well,
Yeah.
and
in
then
my
you send it to me unsolicited. Yeah, I'm a laugh. I got
Like,
jokes.
look at this
and see,
pinky. Doesn't this make you want me? They're
I
just up there bumping
uh
clits.
exactly. But this particular person, even though like their ego suggests like, yeah, you know what I mean? And even though they don't talk on their stuff like that, but just how, yeah, their ego suggests like he walking around with a third leg. You know what I mean? And then to find out that you're not.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't need to at least be average. Like at least give me average.
And okay, am I being unfair? That was not average.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I guess, most guys believe they're average. I don't know. Or better. I
I
don't know
don't
what to
think
say
they
about
do.
that. Well, I don't know. I don't know what y'all believe. Y'all
What?
crazy.
I
Men.
mean, I think I'm in an unfair advantage here, so I'm gonna stay the fuck out of it.
But like I
Yeah.
was talking to my boy about it, and he was just like, "I don't think you're being fair." And I was like, "I said, here's the thing. I said the reason why I was so disappointed with it, like if somebody had sent me that just on some whatever, I'd have been like, okay, it's okay. I mean, my first thought, I guess, would be like, okay, poor thing, but whatever. Maybe you got other attributes,
What is it
but
that you say? Put a little tink tink.
Your dress is really nice, though.
But this dude, I was like, imagine, like, I said, who is like the person that you had like a like your unattainable crush? And he was like, at one point it was Stacey Dash. I was like, okay, so imagine, you know,
Oh, well, he's
you,
he's felt that disappointment already.
well, yeah, well, no, but look, I was like, imagine you get with Stacey Dash and and find out she's cavernous. You know what I mean? That would hurt you. He was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Exactly. That's how I felt." Like, ugh.
Cavernous is hilarious, but I like that in a woman. Hey,
Well, you would. Anyhow.
why are we still
Oh
talking?
my.
Good night, people.
Yeah.
Good
And whatever
night.
Good
people
night.
listen to this.